All right, guys, how you doing? JP right here, setting stuff right here for everyone. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday night, and I want to make sure that the audio is working. So we're gonna look at that in just a moment. Let me finish some of the setup here. Welcome to everybody that is watching this. Okay. Trying to make sure. Commercials. All right. Let me know if you can hear me well. I'm sure you can hear me, but I just want to double check. Oh, yeah. You can hear me. That's good. Well, I want to say to all of you, welcome. Welcome again to those who are watching this at this moment. I appreciate your coming to see me today. It's truly appreciated. Welcome, everyone. Today is the reason why I'm doing this today instead of Friday, because that's the plan. I want to start doing this on Fridays, is because hey Pulido, how you doing? How are you, sir? Thank you for tuning in. The reason I'm doing this is because well, the reason I'm doing this is because tomorrow it's Good Friday, and I'll be out. I'm gonna go with my wife. We're going to leave town, and we're gonna visit some family. So we'll be doing that. So for the Easter holiday, so we'll be out and want to take a break with the family. So I wish all of you, those who are tuning in, that I hope you're. I don't know if many people probably working tomorrow, but thankfully I'm not working tomorrow. I'm off. So I wish you all have a happy Easter, like holiday season, if you celebrate it. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to see. I know that there's a few people watching already. Today is a good day. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Well, not a lot of things, because haven't been that many reveals or huge reveals this week. But we're going to talk about a few things that, in my opinion, are worth mentioning. And I think that that definitely there's always collectibles. There's always a lot of stuff. And I want to share some stuff there also about things that I personally like. And I want to use this show, this Friday night show, although today's Thursday, but today's my Friday right now. I want to use it to kind of share some things that I like of pop culture, things like that, and talk about those things, talk about the new, and have a conversation with all of you. Hey, Statue Habit 71. Hello, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic evening. If all of you, thank you for tuning in. But yeah, we're gonna talk about a few things, and let me give you the list. The stuff that I've been wanting to talk in the collectible side. I want to talk about we're going to start first on the action figures, like I've been doing before. We're going to talk about some action figures, and then we're going to talk about statues, and we're going to go on scales. I want to talk about Threezero. I've been talking about it in the last few shows, and it's because they've been releasing G.I. Joe stuff, and I'm a big fan of the G.I. Joe stuff. We're going to talk about the Firefly figure, 1/6 scale figure that just came out. It's available at Sideshow. We're going to talk about it. I want to talk about Hot Toys. They finally released the Luke Skywalker that they showcased back in 2019, San Diego Comic-Con 2019, and for some reason it never came out until just this week, surprisingly. So people are excited for that one. I want to cover that. I want to talk about Weta Workshop, the Aragorn, part of the 20th anniversary celebration, and this is part of the 1/6 scale collection, the classic series. I want to talk about it because I think it's a fantastic piece, and if you're a Lord of the Rings collector, then definitely you need to pay attention to what Weta does all the time. And I want to talk about also some companies. If I have the time, I want to talk about some new companies that I haven't talked in the past, and their companies based in China. I think one of them I know is based in Hong Kong. The other one I've been trying to figure out where it's located, but I think it's in China, and they produce some stuff that you can find at Sideshow and also Spec Fiction. I want to kind of throw it in just for those who haven't seen this stuff, and I want to cover some of that. One of them is the Starexva Studio. I think that's how it's pronounced. And they do a lot of stuff for like Naruto and things like that. We're going to cover some of the stuff they're releasing recently. Also, Gantaku Anime. They do a lot of stuff for like SNK, but they also have other licenses there at Sideshow. We're going to cover some of the stuff today. I want to talk PCS, Bolo Yeung. That is a phenomenal piece. Definitely the two pieces that they're releasing for this phenomenal actor. And I want to talk about what in this case PCS is showcasing here. Also want to talk about Queen Studios. Queen Studios is going to release Captain America tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's coming out, and I know that's going to sell well. As this is based on the Winter Soldier film, and I think it looks phenomenal. I want to cover some of the stuff there. Prime1 Studio, that will be probably the end of our conversation today. I want to talk about some of the stuff, things that I haven't talked about Prime1 Studio. They've been doing the Prisma wing, which is the PVC stuff. And not everyone is fan of that, but it's a concept that they're releasing, and I want to kind of cover some of the stuff there. I want to talk about the Vergil EX, that there's the new version of Vergil that already was released for Devil May Cry 5, but now they have a new version. Of course, now they're doing this celebration, the 10-year celebration of Prime1 Studio, which is amazing. And I want to cover that, but also Ultraman, if you're an Ultraman fan. So definitely there's not that major hitters this week, but there's some good stuff, and it's just, killing some time, have some fun, and talk about some of the things. So you're welcome to bring your conversations, bring the conversation and ask any questions at any point, and I'm gonna try to answer those questions, so you may have any questions, whether it's about these pieces or any other thing. Let's just have fun with that. Hey, Knight, how you doing? Welcome, and thank you for tuning in. So let's have fun with that. But before I want to get into the statue thing, talking about statues, I want to really cover... I want to share my experience, because I went this week. I finally had the opportunity to watch Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I wanted to share it here because, hey, why not? This is my show. And I want to share it with you. I don't know how, who watched this. You have watched the movie or not, but I want to share some of what I consider my review of the film. And I will tell you one thing, because I went there in the middle of the week. I took my nephew. He's out because of the spring holiday, Easter holiday, all of that. So he's out. So I took him to the movie theater with my wife. We took him, and it was fun, man. I had fun with it. It is more packed with nostalgia. If you're a big Sega fan or a Sonic fan, then there's so much nostalgia. They took a lot of course cues from the games, but also from the cartoons. The cartoon back in the day, there was a 90s cartoon. And it was fun. I had fun with it. I was a bit tired because, of course, that was a day of work, and I was kind of falling asleep a little bit at times. But it was fun. My nephew was happy. The movie theater was packed with kids and families, and all the kids were just laughing and having fun with it. And there were some funny moments in the film. I like it. Definitely, it's a new expansion on this franchise, and definitely leaves the door open for a third film, and you can see where they're going. It is a family film, which I like. There's some elements perhaps not good for children, but for the most part, it's a clean film. Now, one thing I will tell you, I felt that even though in the construction of the film, there's so much stuff that is cool to watch and it's fun. The thing that I wasn't crazy about in the film is that it feels that it's divided into three different segments. All movies are divided in segments, but this one is for like the intro part. It's a big, long part of the film. There's a middle part in the film, like second scene, and there's a big third scene. So I feel that it was like, in some ways, it's like there's so many new characters there, and like Knuckles is a big part of that. Also, of course, Eggman is a big part of that with Jim Carrey. But I felt that they was kind of fighting who was more important, who was the real villain. Who is the villain, but at the same time, I felt that there were so many characters that were there, also characters that in reality didn't need to be there in the film, or not necessarily from the franchise, but characters that were introduced. And I felt that they're part of the story of the human characters. And some of the storylines were like, we don't need to see this. I think this extends the film too long. And I feel that in some way, they introduced those scenes just to entertain adults more than anything, because some of those kind of storylines there were like definitely not for kids, it's for adults. I feel that they needed that. If not, the adults would be bored with this story, because it's a lot of things that kind of hit with children. But at the same time, I felt that it hits with people that grew up with the franchise, that have played the video games, are lovers of Sega or Sonic. So it wasn't necessary. So I will tell you, I feel that the first film in the franchise was better constructed than this second one. Although this one has a lot of, Easter eggs, a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of very funny moments too. So it's an entertaining thing. So I will say to all of you, if you get the chance, if you haven't watched the film, to go and watch it. If you have kids, take the kids. They're going to have fun with it. You're going to have fun with it. You love Sega. And it's good. I think it's a great film for the family. And of course, it's always important to spend time with the kids. So I would recommend it. I will tell you, if I have to give this film a final score, I haven't decided to give her a score. But if I have to give her a score, in my book, it will be, I would say, an 8, 7.5. I think it's at the same level as the first one. Although the first one, I felt that it felt more concise. I felt that the story was, cohesive as a whole. In comparison to this one, I felt that there was a few storylines kind of separating, deviating, but not really producing anything of value, for even future films. So that's just my opinion here, and I just want to share it with you. And by the way, I haven't watched the trailer of what is that? The Stranger Things season 4. I don't know if you have watched it. If you have, let me know what did you think about it, because I haven't watched it. I haven't had the chance to do anything. And probably after I finish this, I'll take time to watch it, because I'm really looking forward to Stranger season 4. Stranger Things, and just let me know what you think about it. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share here before I get into all this conversation with the whole thing. But again, I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for tuning in. All right then, now that we have time to talk about this, I got it out of my chest. And let me know if you watch it, if you're a fan, or not, you didn't, if it didn't do much for you, just let me know. All right, guys, so let's go. And I want to go, like I mentioned, I want to start with the collectibles. And I want to go to Threezero. And for that reason, I want to go, we're going to go to Sideshow Collectibles. And let me pull this in. I don't know how many action figure collectors are out there watching this right now. Again, I will do this, what I've been doing. I will have the timestamps on the description. And soon, after, of course, the end of this video, by tomorrow you'll have it. So that way you can go to different sections. And it's easier to locate anything you're looking for. So we're going to, and I'll show you here. And I'm telling you right now, it's I'm a bit tired today. Of course, it was a long day. I wake up really early in the morning. It was like 4 a.m. It's hard for me to sleep sometimes. So I didn't get the chance. But I'm looking for this. Just give me a second. And my apologies if it's taken too long. And all right. Okay. All right, guys. Now we're cooking with gas. So let's get into it. Threezero right here. This company, in my opinion, I'm telling you, I love what they do. I love their figures. Sometimes there's this argument between collectors about what's best, the statues and figures. And people sometimes feel that they need to be on a camp. You're on the statue camp, or you are on the figure camp. To be honest with you, at the end of the day, collectibles are collectibles. Anything that you have in your hand and you have this love and fascination for it, it is a collectible item. So there's no better option or not, because sometimes people, there's an elitist mentality that if you pay more money for something, then that is more valuable. Of course, it could be financially more valuable, but doesn't mean that they have the same emotional value that some people give to certain things. Some people don't care about statues. It doesn't matter if they're like $6,000 statues or whatever. They don't care about some of the things that we consider grails as statue collectors. But there are grails also in the figure world. And there are figures that people love. Some people want articulation. They want to be able to move and pose and do things differently. Statue collectors they want something more inanimated. Of course, all things are inanimated and you give them form, but they want something already posed or in a museum pose, simple museum pose, just to display that the way it is. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what is. We all have preferences. We all love, figures or statues. It doesn't matter. That's one thing I do in this channel. I talk about collectibles. I don't talk about statues. I don't consider myself a statue collector alone or only. I don't have that. I consider myself a collector. I collect a lot of things. I have a lot of hobbies, whether it's diecast, figures, statues. I collect it all because that's just my passion. I love fandom. I love a lot of things, and it's okay to love those things. So now let's just, after this TED Talk, TED Talk that I have here. Let's get into it. Let's talk about this piece. You know, Firefly. As you can see, Threezero has been doing amazing. Last week we talked about Roadblock. It was last week or the week before, I don't remember, but we talked about Roadblock. You know, I like the figure. It's not bad. But let's talk about Firefly. Now, the price for this figure is $169. I do have, of this collection, I have the Snake Eyes and I have the Storm Shadow. I mention it every week. I'm going to review it. And there's the reason why I haven't reviewed it is because of two reasons here. The first one is because I don't have the time. I need to find the time to review it. Second, I don't have the space where to put it, because once you get something out of the box, you need to find a place to put it. So to me, it's like, okay, so I've been kind of procrastinating, but I need to get to it. But the figures are amazing. But there are a couple of things that I noticed because I already unpacked things to look at them, that they're not necessarily too crazy about it, and perhaps they need some improvement. Now, the price for this one is $169, as you can see, and it's going to release between December of this year and February of next year. Now, let's look at the figure. Now, what I like about the figures, of course, is just the sculpt is really, really good. I like this figure. Firefly is a good character, and definitely looking forward to, you know, other characters in the franchise. You know, when they start expanding, you know, this line, I hope that they can expand it beyond just basic characters. You know, the core characters. I also want to see some of the more obscure characters. We'll see. Depends on how, you know, this performs, this line. But when you look at this one, it comes with all these different accessories. However, I'm going to make this comparison. One thing I don't like about what the way Threezero has been doing this, these figures do not have a stand. This has been mentioned by other reviewers here on YouTube and other places. That is a thing that they need to change. You know, they can throw a cheap stand, and that will kind of, you know, sometimes people don't like the stands, but it's good to have a stand. You know, that will be a perfect thing to do. You know, Hot Toys always give you a stand. Of course, you pay double the price normally for these figures, in these Hot Toys figures, but a stand is always a good thing to have. You know, you can even price this higher if you wanted to, like $200, and still people will buy it if they feel they have something more premium. Now, it comes with the different hands, which is not bad. It has a weapon. I feel that it deserves to have more than just one single rifle and a handgun and a knife. I think it deserves more than that. Now, one thing I noticed, and I'm going to point out when I reviewed this, is that the handgun that they in this case, the Snake Eyes have, this rifle, this machine gun, I feel that it, you know, it looks good. It's kind of like a diecast thing, but it still feels like, you know, it doesn't have the same quality of the guns, for example, that come from Hot Toys. I feel that it requires a little more finesse, a more detail, perhaps, so make it look more realistic and, you know, to give her more premium feel. Now, one thing I will tell you about this one does have some, you know, cloth, and it has some fabric on the clothing, which is different than the way they did it, I would say, with Storm Shadow, which technically was just a, you know, it's plastic torso, which is kind of cool. It looks cool, actually. It kind of helps. So this one is going to be a bit different. Now, it is a cool looking figure for sure. And as a G.I. Joe fan, I'm really loving this. You know, some people may not know this, but I started when my first Sideshow pieces, or the first stuff that I was collecting for Sideshow were G.I. Joe figures. Back in the day when they were doing a lot of figures, and I collected many of them. Got rid of them for like many things that I've done in the past. You know, got tired of them and sold them. But I love those figures. They were pretty good. And I think with this, I feel that they're better because, of course, the articulation is much better, and Threezero has a much better, I would say, finished product. But at the same time, there were a couple of things on those old figures that were, in my opinion, better. Even some parts of the design felt better or more quality or more premium than you can see with Threezero. But, you know, I will point out those things when I get the chance to review the figures. I will point out more things about them. But, you know, I like this one. It's a nice addition. I love that it comes with all these things, and I'm going to be able to do kind of crazy poses with it, which I like. That's my thing. But yeah, just that, you know, little machine gun. It needs another one. It needs something different, some other type of gun. Also some explosive, because, you know, Firefly, he's known for explosives and stuff like that. I wish there was more than that. Some other little accessories. I think at the end of the day, people love accessories, so that way that can add to the, you know, to the quality of whatever you do. You know, you display in different ways. You know, it's a nice figure. In some ways, I prefer it than Roadblock, but at the same time, you know, I like that it's added, but I'm not as impressed with this one as I am with Storm Shadow. So, but it's cool. You know, it's cool figure. I'm glad, looking forward for the other figures in this collection, like Duke or, you know, Scarlet. I would love to see Destro. I would love to see the Cobra Commander. So I don't know what they're going to do, when that's going to happen. Now he has the dynamite in his hand. That is a cool thing. Of course, he has a lot of grenades everywhere. It is a nice figure. Don't get me wrong. It is nice, you know, and I'm glad that in this case, you know, they getting the chance. Threezero, it's getting the chance to produce this, and hopefully it does well so we can see more than just the basic characters they have produced so far. So that's what we have right now. But yeah, you know, Threezero is a good company, and love those figures. I think that there's potential there. And I don't know, if you're a G.I. Joe fan, then definitely you may be able to see the potential in these figures. But they're really cool, cool looking, and that's always good. All right, guys. So again, I want to say to all of you that are watching this, thank you very much. Thank you for supporting this. I want to invite you to, if you are here for the first time, do not forget, or you're here just now, don't forget to leave a like. That helps this video to be expanded and to be recommended. My channel, here for the first time, you like what I say, you like my ramblings. You know, you might not like my face, but you like my ramblings. Then just follow the channel, you know, share it, you know, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, and you know, I'm always in all different places sharing my videos, sharing my content. Just follow me there. You know, support the channel. Also, if you want to become a financial supporter of the channel, you can do it through Patreon. You can do it here also. You can do it so many different ways. You know, anything that you can do to help really helps me to keep this content going and actually improve the quality, which at the end of the day, that's what I want. I want this channel to improve and to be better. All right, now let's move on from that commercial. And I want to go to, let's see, now that we are at Sideshow, let's just take the opportunity and let's explore one thing, in my opinion, that people are excited. Now we're looking for figures, of course. We've been talking about figures. So let's talk about one of the most sold out, so most people are super happy, super excited. And let's see if we can find it. Figure here, you can see we're going to talk about Bolo Yeung later in the video, so stay tuned for that. But man, look at all these amazing looking things that are happening here. You know, there's a lot of things that I want to talk. We're not going to talk about everything, of course, because we don't have the time. But we're going to talk about this. As you can see right here, there is a Luke Skywalker Bespin, of course, based on the part of the original trilogy, the original films. And there's two here that look really good. You have the regular, the basic one, nice base, by the way. And then you have the deluxe version. Now let's look first at the regular. $285, I think is a fair price for this one. And of course, the deluxe version is $345. Now, when you look at this, let's look at the information that we have. Of course, it's Hot Toys. We know that, you know, it's going to have one newly painted head sculpt with separate rolling eyeballs features, which is something amazing. I love that the eyes are movable. You get the movie accurate facial expression with detailed skin texture. I will tell you that there's a couple of things that they did to improve this face sculpt in comparison to the original prototype that they showcased at San Diego Comic-Con 2019. Also, newly developed brown hair sculpture with magnetic features, which that is cool, something that they've been doing with other pieces. Body with over 30 points of articulation. On the custom, you got one tan color jacket with pockets, one pair of tan color pants. On the weapons, you got a one LED lighted blue lightsaber, blue light battery operated. That is awesome. I love that. That is awesome. You know, one lightsaber hilt and accessories. You get one especially designed carbon freezing chamber theme base with character name and LED light of function orange light battery operated. Now on the other side, you get 7 pieces of interchangeable hands, including one pair of hands holding a lightsaber, one pair of gesture hands, one left fist, one open left hand, one right hand for blaster pistol holding. Each head sculpt is specially hand painted, one brown color utility belt with blaster holster, one pair of beige color boots, one blue color blade in motion attachable to the hilt, and one blaster pistol. Man, it comes with a lot of things, as you can see. Now I'm just giving you reference because, you know, it comes with so much stuff that you kind of lose track of all this stuff. This is what I was telling you earlier. This is what I was saying earlier. That is the difference between, you know, Threezero and some of the other companies with Hot Toys. Yeah, Hot Toys gets a lot of hate sometimes for things that they do and they don't do. But one thing is true, when they release something, for the most part, you're not going to be dissatisfied with the final product. You know, because, you know, they release this stuff with so much stuff that comes with it. It's just fun. I have the Mandalorian, which I already did the review, but I haven't finished editing, and I'm gonna have it. I'm just super glad with that. I love that figure because there's so much stuff in the deluxe version. There's so many things, you know, like you can lose track of all the stuff that you have, all the little accessories. That to me adds value, you know. And here you can see, look, the portrait, it's amazing. This is one day I will tell you, you would love to see these portraits on statues. You know, of course, we're getting to see that now with a lot of statues with the silicone and all that kind of stuff. And companies are doing amazing stuff, even with resin. But still, I think Hot Toys has such an amazing quality. And of course, we have companies like Blissway working with Prime1 Studio doing amazing stuff. And J&D Studio, Queen Studio is doing amazing. But people that also, many of the sculptors that work in the past work for Hot Toys, and they have work in this company. So they are really they're well versed in this sculpting and bringing the realism of the statues to life, you know, based on the experience and the working with this, you know, company. Which in my opinion is amazing, and I'm always impressed by it. I love how accurate it is. Of course, I saw some comments. People always going to be commenting on social media. Oh, you know, they're going to complain about this or that. So, oh, this is not accurate. This is not accurate. You know, there are a lot of people out there that are perfectionists in their mind. They think they're perfectionists. But to me, the fun part is that, you know, we have seen in the past many Luke Skywalker figures. But each one of them, in particular with Hot Toys, it's improvement over the last one. This is the better version. Of course, you know, this is the prototype, but it's the better version of Luke Skywalker that we have seen so far. And it looks amazing. It's well detailed. I love the face. Looks super, super good. It's just good. It's a good figure. Of course, you know, some people may not like to see here that articulation in the hands. Of course, the classic round peg that, you know, to be honest, this is something that I'm glad that J&D is changing, or they come in, no, J&D Queen Studios with NR, they're bringing the magnets, and hopefully that can be the, you know, in this case, Hot Toys takes notice, and we can get to see magnets on all these figures. That will be awesome. I think that would be a much better thing to do with the figures. But yeah, so far, look at this right next in battle with his dad. That is amazing looking, and definitely those movable eyes are going to be amazing. Yeah, that is amazing. Definitely, I'm definitely going to add this one when it comes out. And here you can see feature separate rolling eyeballs and interchangeable hair sculpture. So you can do the different hairs. That is cool. Look at that. That is what it is. You know, you change the hair, you remove the piece, and I love that. I love that. It doesn't need to have rooted hair. It's just perfect as it is. You know, it looks cool. This is the base. Love the base. This is a nice concept. This is not the cheap looking base that they normally do. This is a really cool looking base. That is really, really cool. As you can see, feature separate rolling out. Well, you already read that part. But that is cool. Even the regular looks really good, just the way it is, you know. So the collector's edition, that's how they call it nowadays. Trying to be fancy, you know. Sideshow wants to be fancy with names. At the end of the day, is the regular version. That's all it is. Now let's look at the deluxe version, and let's see if there's anything here added extra. Everything seems to be the same on the accessories. You get the one Luke, a severe head in Vader's helmet, and one Dagobah Swan Diorama theme base, one Dagobah theme interchangeable graphic card, one especially designed carbon freezing chamber theme base with, okay, we have seen that. So it has everything that you already have on the regular, on the collector's edition. I'm sorry, you know, I'm just gonna keep saying that, but it has this. Now this is very dark, but it's cool. Having the severe head of his dad. But look at this one. So it has a different base, which is a simpler base, but the whole concept. Oh man, that I don't know. That creeps me out. You see that severe head. You know, it's something cool. That's all it is. But the light of feature. Look at that. Love the effect. And of course, you get the other one as well. It is a pretty cool concept. I'm telling you, this is a really nice figure. And, you know, with the different hair, you know, the hair and the interchangeable thing, the light of feature on that, you know, it's cool. You know, it is really cool on his, I forgot, man, lightsaber. I'm tired. I'm really tired today. But I'm having fun. That's the reason I'm here. And I hope you're having fun. Let me know what you think about this figure. Man, it looks good. That is creepy. That is creepy for sure. But that is cool. That is cool. Look at the base. This is the other one. This is the thing. Again, bases are fine. Sometimes, like they mess it up. They mess it up. Sometimes Hot Toys gives you a really horrific, unnecessary bases. But when they really put effort on the bases, they can give you something really, really cool for display. So yeah, I'm telling you, this is definitely a very interesting looking figure, and I'm excited to see what to see what they're doing. Definitely, it's exciting to see that. It's really cool. But yeah, guys, I'm telling you, this is the thing. What I love about Hot Toys, and I've been loving that about Hot Toys for a very long time. It's the fact that what they produce is the stuff that they give you has so much detail, so much attention to detail in the little things that to me are important, that really keep any figure, I would say, relatable and make that figure the ultimate thing in my eyes. Like, I know some people don't like, and I've seen Sideshow collectors making fun of figures and figure collectors, but to be honest with you, they don't know what they have, because they call it all the Ken dolls or the Barbie dolls, but the truth of the matter is that there's nothing Barbie about figures from Hot Toys and from companies that produce these quality figures. And when you're able to display things in different ways and make, you can go wild with the displays and the poses, then definitely you can come up with some really nice looking ideas. And I've seen it definitely on social media. There's a lot of figure collectors that I just love what they do. Like they create all this, on Instagram. I follow many of them, and amazing. I get blown away by the quality of these photos, but also about the, how people can come up with some ideas to create some really nice looking scenes that look so realistic, like from the movies, but with figures. And that, to me, that's art. That's real art. So yeah, it is, my perception of that. Perhaps I'm wrong, but hey, maybe I'm right. Who knows? But yeah, guys, tell me how you feel about the figure. Let me know in the comments below. So let's move on. Of course, it seems that, like everyone wants to, everyone that is here is listening. So I'm glad that you're listening. But let's move on from the figures. I want to go into the statue world. I want to start just now going into what some people would say my bread and butter, but it's something that most people know me for. And for that, I want to go to Weta Workshop. I want to talk about the new Aragorn statue. Now, I have talked about Weta many times in this channel. I love what they do. I consider one of the best and one of the most iconic companies in this industry for obvious reasons. They have been known because primarily it started the way I knew them. It was because of the stuff with Lord of the Rings. But one thing I love about Weta is that it is a place full of artisans. It's a place full of artists that really love these franchises, and they represent them in the best way possible. Many of them, you see a lot of digital sculptors, but a lot of the sculptors here that work for this company are traditional sculptors. And to me, as I've mentioned many, many times, there is a difference between traditional sculpting and digital sculpting. I'm not saying that one is better than the other one. I think they're both important, and now there's a bigger desire for digital sculpting skills, even for artists. But at the same time, I feel that those artists that they have their beginnings, so they in the traditional sculpting scene, they have a push, or they have a better footing at becoming excellent digital sculptors. Why? Because they understand the physics, they understand the nature, they understand what it means to move certain things and give them that natural feel, because they have touched it with their hands, they have seen it, with their hands, they have felt it. So the thing is a digital sculptor that has only done digital sculpting doesn't understand some of those basics, where there is anatomy, where there is angles, where there is gravity, how that affects certain things, the type of materials, and combining certain materials with other materials. That's something that only a person that has been able to go to traditional school will understand. So I think they're both important. But let's go here. Let's just, now that we shared that little bit of info, if you know me, you know that I love to share information. That's why sometimes my videos can be long. I love to share information. That's one thing that to me is important. You know, I'm a geek. You know, I'm a geek. You know, I'm proud to say it. I don't have a problem with that. You know, you can call me a geek, you can call me a nerd. I don't care. You know, like bottom line, I love what this franchises. Have fun with them. Now here you have Aragorn, Hunter of the Plains, 1/6 scale statue. This is part of the classic series. It's $399, and we're gonna look at this right now. Really cool. Now as you can see, I love the detail here. You know, I love the detail in this this statue. It's 1/6 scale. Love the classic base. Let's see if we can look at this one here. Love the detail. This is one thing, you know. The great thing about Weta, I will tell you this, you know, like I know I've been a bit critical of some of the stuff they've been doing for the larger scale right now. Not necessarily as critical, saying that I'm throwing dirt at this company, but I will tell you that, you know, some of the bigger stuff it hasn't, like for example, Superman is being criticized. The Lara Croft statue also was criticized for the paint job because they're larger pieces, but it's because it's harder to bring the detail or to hide some of those imperfections on a larger piece than they are on a smaller piece. That's just the truth. Something smaller, you can hide some imperfections on the paint job. You have to be more precise with larger pieces. The larger it is, the more precise you have to be. So you have to be very thorough when you're talking with the companies, with the factories and the painters to make sure that they do a good job. And you have to have a strong quality control system. But the thing is this, you know, on the smaller stuff, that's where, you know, some companies shine. And I will tell you, Weta shines on the smaller stuff. They do, because 1/6 scale has been something that they have done for many years, and something in also smaller scales. But 1/6 is the perfect medium for me, at least what they have been able to manage over the years. And hopefully they can translate that also into the quarter scale and improve that, because on 1/6 they're perfect. You know, there's sometimes some imperfections here and there, some hit or misses, but for the most part, the statues that they produce are really well detailed. And look at this one. This is a piece of art, in my opinion. You know, yes, people will say, well, you know, if it was made out of silicone, Queen Studios can do it better, and blah, 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 J&D, you know, people are gonna say that. But the point is this, you know, like, this is a 1/6 scale statue. It's a resin statue. And in my opinion, it looks really, really good. Look at this. You know, and it has a classic base. It's not stylized, it's not crazy, it's not like, you know, it's just classy. It's just elegant. And this can fit in any Lord of the Rings collection, in your office, on a, you know, on a bookshelf. You know, it looks good just the way it is. And I think they did a good job with this one. It looks like the actor. Of course, you can say, well, the eyes are this, or the eyes are that, or the nose, or this and that. Of course, we can always do that. But I think it looks even better. I will tell you this, the portrayal of the actor here, it's better, in my opinion. It looks better than what Prime1 did on the 1/3 scale statue that they did. In my opinion, it feels that it's a little bit closer, and the look feels more refined. So I like this Aragorn statue, the way it looks. It looks better, and it's, of course, it's a fully sculpted piece. Of course, it's made out of resin. But look at this one. Let me see. Like, look at this. Of course, this is a prototype, and that's the problem sometimes. The prototypes are always going to look amazing. Now, the final product is where the challenge comes, and hopefully it's as close as this one. But look, even at see at his face. You can see even the pores on this. It looks really good. The paint job on the beard is really well done. You know, like, it's good. You know, I would love to have this prototype, but hey, you know, those are the things that you have no control. But here you can see, yeah, it's a fully painted piece. Love the detail. Love the detail there. Look at that. Yeah, that looks good for a resin statue with little detail. And this is where this company shines. You know, on the 1/6 scale, on that scale, it's just perfect. And here you can see this gentleman holding this guy holding this, and it does have some really nice height. That's a 1/6. It is a nice piece, and I think it deserves the $399. I think it's a fair price. Some people say, well, but you know, it doesn't have switch outs, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. You know, we can say that, but I think because of the franchise, because of the license, because of the character, I think it's good. And this is part of this, you know, the 20th celebration that they have, of course, of the movies. I think that's what it's celebrating, the 20th celebration. In fact, is that the case of the movie? Of the, pretty much of the movie and the whole thing in the cinema. So to me, this is a good thing. You know, it's a really nice statue. I really like it. I'm telling you, I feel that they did a really fantastic job with this one. Hey, Batman, how you doing, sir? What I missed, but so far, no. I would say we have talked about figures. We talk about the Threezero Firefly figure, 1/6 scale figure for the G.I. Joe line that they're doing. We talk about the Anakin Skywalker. No, we're talking about, man, I'm telling you, Luke Skywalker for the Hot Toys. Amazing looking figure. And of course, right now we talk about Weta Workshop Aragorn on the 20th anniversary of the movie franchise. It looks good. I will tell you, what I'm saying about Weta, it's a good company. Weta is a good company that does produce quality, you know, and sometimes, of course, they get criticized because of a lot of other reasons, but it's a company that has been stable. It's a staple of the industry, and definitely when you come about, you know, the Lord of the Rings stuff, you know, they produce, you know, a lot of beautiful stuff, you know, not necessarily just statues of the main characters. They produce, whether it's dioramas, whether it's little figures, whether it's little bigger dioramas and 1/6 scale. They do all kind of crazy stuff, looking amazing stuff. And to me, it's better, you know, even for the pocket, because yeah, we can go to Prime1 Studio and spend top dollar for amazing looking representations, perhaps the best representations you can find, but this is space wise, you know, they space hoggers. And here with 1/6, definitely you have that perfect medium. That's the reason I've been collecting 1/6 for a long time. And I love the 1/6. Although, to be honest with you, based on my limited space, I should be a 110 collector. But I still feel that, oh, okay, I'm caught up. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, I feel that you know, it's just perfect for the you know, for the wallet. And although the prices are going up, it's something that I mentioned before, and it's just the way it is, I still feel that it still has value and great looking pieces for sure. All right, that's Weta Workshop. We done with that one. Now, it says right there, good company, but Queen Studios will be highly competitive with its 1/6 Lord of the Rings. Yes, of course, you know, like when at the same time, let's keep in mind that when we're looking at that, will be on the figure side. And on the figure side, of course, you know, they will take it, you know, and of course, there's nobody else, unless you consider Asmus Toys, which they doing amazing figures as well, but they've been slow with the production, you know, this stuff. And Asmus, I like Asmus, and I like some of the figures, but definitely this is something that brings competition, which is good. But, you know, for people that have been collecting statues for the longest, Weta Workshop has been pretty much the place to go, because they produce the statues that some people prefer that. At the end of the day, you know, you collect whatever you like. You know, if you're a figure collector, then definitely there is value and to see what Queen Studio is going to do. But if you're a statue collector and you're within the 1/6 statue, and at the same time, you know, there's a little bit of difference between statues, even on the 1/6 scale, you know, the statues tend to be a little smaller in comparison to the figures. But the statues, it's just another feel, and some people love that feel. So at the end of the day, it's just perception. It's what you like. You know, if you like the figures, go for it. Yeah, mostly 110 and 1/6. Great way to collect a lot of your favorite characters without hogging up real estate and your wallet. Yeah, I think that's the thing. You know, that's the part where, you know, I tell people, because I always hear this criticism. You know, like I'm constantly hearing a lot of people crying out. Because they're saying, well, you know, like they always want the best representations of a character. Oh, they want this, they want that, they want so many switch out parts, they want this base to do this, to do that, they want light up features, and when companies do that, they build this big monstrous dioramas with so much stuff just to accommodate everyone. People are like, well, that's too much space, that's too expensive. And I'm thinking, but that's what you were asking for. This is what you were asking for the longest. You want this, you want that. And when you get it, then you realize it's too much for you. It's too much to bite. The thing is this, you know, like that is the reason I tell people, and I tell many times, many collectors shouldn't be collecting certain scales. Like people say like, oh, people say, I want to collect at 1/3, 1/3. The bottom line is this: if you're only collecting 1/3, you're gonna run out of space very, very quick. You're gonna have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces against the wall, and that's about it. There's nothing else. Nothing else is gonna fit on that wall. That's done. It's over. And so people can live with that. That's fine. But if you're as passionate as a collector, and if you love a lot of things, you know, people change their mind all the time. You want more than 5 pieces hugging a wall. That is some real good. Yes, that's some real estate that you really need. So for me, I'd rather have something that is smaller that can fit the most. And that's where figures, 1/6 scale figures are perfect. That is when 1/6 scale statues are perfect. That's when 1/10 scale statues are perfect. Why? Because you can arrange as much as you can, and you can have something, and it's not gonna look tacky. People say, well, the more you staff, the tackier it is. No, it's not, because I've seen some 1/3 scale statue collection that look tackier. At the end of the day, it's how you have a vision, how you organize certain things, and ultimately, at the end of the day, you're not here to please anyone. You're here just to please yourself. That's bottom line. You're here to do what's fun for you, so you can share that also with your family and friends, the people that are close to you, and other people on Facebook, with the people that are close to you. And to be honest with you, that's when 1/6, 1/10 are perfect to me. And that's the thing. Like I mentioned, when I started collecting Sideshow, I was collecting figures, but then I jump into statues. That's something that I've been doing I've been doing for many years. When I was collecting Sideshow, initially I was collecting the dioramas, and then I moved into the bigger pieces, the 1/5, 1/4. I was doing the comiquettes, the quarter scale pieces, and to be honest, I run out of space. And a lot of the thing that I regret the most, that a lot of the statues that I had, I never got them out of the box. They were never out of the box. They were always in the box until I got tired and I sold them. So they were just sitting there for years, collecting, the box was collecting dust. And so I didn't like that. Hey, how you doing? Thank you, Vino. Thank you for the help with the $5 donation. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Thank you. It helps me keep building this channel and producing the content for all of you. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. But yeah, guys, I'm telling you, that's the reason at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what is it that you like. I'm not trying to downgrade the 1/3 scale, because I think they're amazing. But at the same time, I know my limitations. I know that this is not for me. And if it's not for me, I'm not going to jump on that wagon, because it is not. I'm going to keep collecting what I'm collecting, because I know many collectors, because there was a time where Baldwin Designs left, that were just selling their stuff and moving away from it. Say, well, now we're going to have to move to quarter scale, because that's everything at that point was available. And then, of course, when people felt that the quarter scale was done, then they move into what was the other one? They move into the 1/3. And that's where their people at. But to be honest with you, I never felt the need, and I never felt the need to do any more than what I had, and I never felt it. I just said, I'm just gonna stay here, collect what I sold a couple of things, but I just felt that it was not for me. It wasn't for me, and up to this day, it's not for me unless I have a bigger home. But there's something that as much as I like the depiction, I think that I prefer something smaller, because I can get more dynamic poses. Yeah, me too. I drool about all this. I'm telling you, I drool about life-size boss. I drool about everything. And that's the fun thing about doing this channel for me, is because I get the chance to share my passion and to love all these things and share it with you and give you my opinion. I do it. I share my opinion with all of you, and I don't have to buy it. That's the truth. But I really enjoy it. Hey, Preach, if you have a 1/3, 1/4, but also my 1/6 Bowen and Diamond Selects, now considering 1/6 again for space reasons, and 1/6 has become more dynamic. Twitter and XM especially. Yeah, this is the thing. People were saying, oh, the 1/6 is dying, is dead. They said it for a while. There's not, you cannot do beautiful things. But then Twitter hit right now, and XM Studios are proving people wrong. And by the way, Pudgy, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. They're proving people wrong, because I'm just blown away by what Twitterhead is doing, and I have everything they have done, all because the Justice League stuff they have done is on pre-order. And I was showing last night I was talking to my wife, showing this stuff, because she's telling me, what is it that you have on pre-order? She wanted to know. So I showed her some of the stuff I have on Twitterhead, and she was blown away by the Wonder Woman. She liked the Flash. She liked, of course, the Green Lantern. She was blown away by it. I said, oh, wow, they're very muscular. That's what she said. But they look great. And to me, that's the thing. That's the thing, like I was showing, because last night I also got my Kotobukiya, what was that, the Thor that just came in the mail. I unboxed it yesterday. I need to make a review of that. I was blown away by it, because the quality of Kotobukiya now is better than what they did in the past. It's better. It doesn't mean that it's perfect, but it's better, and it looks really dynamic. So looking at this company's trying new things, in my opinion, it is amazing. And they're not the only ones getting into that realm. There's other companies also bringing some of the heat on the 1/6 scale realm. And to me, that's the most important thing. You know, looking at these companies, to me, the sky is the limit. You know, the bottom line is that there's so much stuff that we will get to see. You know, because what we see now is not the end of the line. You know, we're not at the end of the line yet. You know, we're going to see more companies producing more stuff. Yes, the price is going to continue to skyrocket, you know, go up. But we're going to see a lot more things that is going to blow our minds. You know, what we see now as, oh man, is the ultimate thing. 2 years from now, like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, they're going to be like obsolete. And you're going to see some amazing stuff and companies doing crazy things. So I'm all for it. I'm definitely all for it. Well, guys, let's move on. I want to show you something here. Now that we're talking about new companies, I want to show you a company that, in my opinion, it surprised me. I'm not saying that I'm all like, oh my God, you know, I need to have everything they're producing. But in my opinion, I think it is really cool and interesting as a company that we need to pay attention to. And for that reason, I'm going to come here to Spec Fiction. I'm always going to talk good about this company because I think they're amazing and they doing amazing stuff. So I have this one right here. This is Naruto Shippuden Tsunade. It's a 1/7 scale statue. This is available there. $499. People say, well, that's too much money. Now, we're going to look at the pictures because the beauty about this piece is everything that comes here. And I'm not really a Naruto big fan. You know, I watched the show. My nephew loves the show. He loves Naruto. He's watching all the episodes. And I watch it with him. And, you know, I like the characters. I watch it. I even played some video games. I have the video games, some of the video games. I think it's a great, you know, it's a nice anime. $499. But look at this one. The pictures of this piece, it's really cool. This company, and now let me close this so I can show you. Starexva, I think that's what it's called. Studio. Starexva. I don't know. Or Starexva. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it right. I think it's a Chinese company or Vietnamese company. I'm not so sure. I tried to locate this company. I haven't, but I know they have a lot of products from China, so I'm guessing it's from China. A lot of these companies are from China. Spec Fiction has a lot of them. But the level of detail on this, it is really, really good. I love the detail on this. You know, and I'm really a Naruto fan, and definitely this is not going to be in my collection. But looking at this company trying new things and really adding, like, for example, this is a very elegant piece. And I've seen some of the stuff that this company has produced in the past, also in the Naruto Shippuden collection, and it looks really good. Look at this. Love the base. Classic style with that silver, which is something that you see in a lot of this anime. This put the plate with the name of the character on the front. There's something that I see with a lot of anime pieces, and something that I think a lot of Chinese companies do. Don't ask me why. I think that that's a standard over there, perhaps a preference thing. But here it's you can see, looks cool, looks nice. It's very different, very unique, very elegant, and to me that's good. Really cool. I love these concepts. 1/7 scale, and I think I saw some pictures of people right next to it, and probably one of those cons in China and all that. And to me, that looks, it's a pretty good size. Now, this is the thing that they have right now for sale. Let me give you this, for example. They have this what they call Black Label series, which is 1/6. This is stuff that they do with particular different artists. This is their own personal concepts. These are concepts that they come up with. This is Aria, 1/6 scale. To me, there's a lot of detail here. And of course, these are mostly girls. And there's something that there's a fascination with a lot of these companies in Asia with this beautiful, sexy looking girls. But to me, it looks it's a concept. And I know this is something that is not for everyone. It's not for me. I will not have this. But when I look at the art, I can recognize the quality of the art and what these artists are doing. It has a light-up feature. So you can display in different places. It's going to look good, in my opinion. It doesn't look bad at all. And of course, it's just sexy for sure, even in the simplicity of this piece. So this is something that when you look at this is made out of resin, if I'm not mistaken, looking at the detail. But the resin is done in a way that looks so realistic, or looks good, you know, looks like almost silicone. So that gives us an idea with the pictures, different angles. And of course, you have to get that shot. That's something that you're going to see a lot of these statues. They bust shot. But, you know, look at the detail. And this is especially, you know, this is the thing, you know, it's always good to see companies not only just simply doing the basic license that we all prefer, but also companies trying their own lines and trying to do new things. All companies have done that. Sideshow has done that. Gentle Giant has done that. They try their own creations, their own IPs, and I think it's fine with me. I think it's not, there's nothing wrong with it. There's a market for that. This is another one of the black Reina 439. This is another one in this series. This is another. It has the same concept. It's based on anime, or they create this anime concept. Just an elf, I think, and it's just cool. You know, this is something that, again, it's not for everyone, but for some art, there's always gonna be collectors that love, very unique, strange things. There's always gonna be that collector. There are collectors that only collect things that are very limited in number. There's always gonna be that. Some people, they only concerned about collecting what they prefer of the characters they love, regardless of the number, regardless of the edition sizes, because they want something, to have a display and recreate something in their home. A display scene or something like that. But there are people that they just want to have the most unique, most different things in their collection. And I think this serves that purpose. Some people love those things. And there's definitely some beauty on this one. Now, again, this is a 1/6 scale. And I'm going to show you this other one. This is another, it's called Planet Anthropomorphic Sirius Mercury. That's a 1/6 scale statue, $400. This is a bit different. This is just like underwater. Oh, that's the effect. Love the vase, love the concept. It's very, very different. This is a very artistic design. And they're working with some Chinese artists to produce this. And it looks good. As you can see, the clear resin, that's something that I see that more and more, the Chinese doing that. The companies are doing a lot of this clear resin, and better than some of the bigger companies. And that is good. I think because you see the effect of water. I love her hair. As you can see, that clear resin on that hair. That is really, really cool. So, I just wanted to show you this because I think this is a company. It's important to look at these new companies. Although they've been doing business already for a few years, perhaps 1 or 2 years, and they're known perhaps more in Asia, it's important to really give them some credit because at the end of the day, these companies can become the next JND or the next Queen Studio. So it's important always to talk good about them. All right, let's read some of the comments. This is Batman Pudgy. Batman, thanks goodness. Great company, but who is the story? Who is the story with no Prime 1? I didn't get that question. Great company, but what is the story with no Prime 1? I don't know. Italian Spec Fiction has a child. This year, my purchases cover their tuition this semester. Yeah, I'm telling you, that guy. And I mentioned this before. I remember when Todd started promoting his stuff on the Statue Forum, he would come and say, hey, I'm selling this, come to my store. I help you, I hook you up. So that was the beginning. The store had only a few statues. That's it. But hard work, being constant, being consistent, being always there and providing the best service had put Todd in a really nice place. It's a great store. He has a great reputation among collectors because he provides good service and, he sells a lot of good products, that's for sure. He has dealings with a lot of these companies, which is always good. It's very beautiful, but I don't remember seeing Tsunade ever depicted like this. It's so different from her personality. Yeah, I don't know where they took that from. That's the part where I'm not really like a big, Naruto fan, so I don't know where they took that from. I like the concept. I think it's cool. I'm sure they took it from something, whether it was the manga or whether some particular episode, who knows, or even a movie. But I really don't know. I still think it's a cute, beautiful concept, and then it's not necessarily for everyone. My wife would never allow me to get that. Yeah, some of those are too sexy, and some of those figures. And if you have that, you're gonna be in trouble. I'd rather be at peace with my wife than being in trouble or sleep on the couch. So, I don't want that. So I'm not getting that. However, I can enjoy that. I can enjoy what these companies do. When interested in collecting characters I know nothing about or not looking to get into. They're very pretty though. Yes, I'm like you. I'm not. There are collectors that love very different things. They love this strange IPs or no IPs at all. They just like concepts by artists that they come up with an idea. And hey, they want that. unfortunately, that's not me. You know, I'm perhaps, you know, more commercial in that way. I rather have the stuff that I have more connection. You know, that's just the way I am. You know, I have limited space, I have limited funds. So whatever I have, I'm gonna use for what I really love. And at the end of the day, that's what you should do. You know, you should collect what you love. You know, if some people love this, then by all means they can collect it. But for me, it's no. You know, it's not no go. If I have to choose between this sexy looking bunny girl and Captain America, believe me, I'm going for Captain America. And you know, I'm gonna go for Captain America. Just that's the way it is. You know, I love Captain America. I grew up with Captain America. I didn't grow up with the bunny girl, so that she can go. You know, she can go. There will be others, you know, but this one to me is Captain America. And yeah, there's always gonna be tons of Captain Americas, but you know, it just speaks to me, and that's what you have to do with your collection. All right, guys, now let's move on, and I want to move on to another company. Now that we're talking about weird companies, I want to talk about another weird company. I want to throw it at you just, and this is another, you know, there's some statues there that are really, really sexy. But I want to talk about this company that, to be honest, also it's doing some interesting stuff. And for that reason, we're going to come here at Sideshow. I want to show you this. And right there, you can see it right in front. The Holiday Made Monica Tessia. Now, this is a very interesting looking piece. A quarter scale, $605. I know nothing about this. Of course, this is by Gantaku Anime. Gantaku Anime has done a lot of different statues. I knew them, and we're going to talk about some of these pieces, primarily because they were doing a lot of stuff for SNK. You know, stuff for the Samurai Showdown or the King of Fighters series. They've been doing statues. We're going to look at some of the statues in a moment. But they are doing this quarter scale. I think this is the first quarter scale they're doing. And it's a combination of a lot of different materials. And that's the reason I want to point this out. Now, I want to go here. I want to look at Gantaku, at least for the stuff that they have here for sale in Sideshow. As you can see right here, they have these different statues, different things, different concepts, cool, you know, things, some, you know, Chinese elements and all of that. This company is based in Hong Kong. Now, when I knew these companies when they were releasing this, the Genjuro, Kibagami, and Hamaru from the, you know, in this case the Samurai Showdown series, $140. I think they were more expensive, but they have come down in price because I don't think people have, you know, purchased much. But it's at they're 1/8 scale, and as you can see, kind of gives you a reference on the size. They're not that big, and I think price wise they look pretty good. A little bit cartoony in some way. But I'm a big Samurai Showdown fan. I kind of like it. You know, I've seen some other statues that they have also done for this. And it looks good. Nothing wrong. If you are, I'm showing this so I can give you an idea of what this company does. And this is made out of resin. And also have some plastic materials included. I don't know which parts are made out of plastic. But also, you know, it's just resin and some plastic. And here you can see it's a 1.8 kilo. It's a 1.8 scale. It's 2.15 kilograms, which is 4.7 pounds. And that gives you a reference on the scale. And this is how it's going to be displayed with Hamaru. You know, which it is a display. It's set like that. So you technically you have to have both. So on there, you're paying what, $300? You have this too. Well, less than $300. Then you have these two pieces. And I definitely like Hamaru. I wish he had more a different facial expression both. I think they're like too calm. And they're in battle position, so they should be more in a screaming, you know, angrier expression. But it still looks cool. Love the detail. And it's not bad. It's not that bad. I would love to see more 1/6 scale companies to produce SNK stuff, because I love SNK. So I would love to see from these characters, to see them in a, you know, in the scale that I prefer. But in any case, it still looks good. It's not that small. It's bigger than 110. And it looks really good. So there you can see this one. Yeah, I love the texture on his clothing. That is good. All right. And there's another one here. Now that we're here, the Galford, which is another character from the Samurai Showdown. This is more expensive. I don't know why. The edition size, I think, is because it's 900, 310, and he has his dog. I love this figure. It has more cartoony style. Love this one, but to be honest, I don't know why the one with the 300 when the other ones are $140 each. Yeah, you have the dog and all of that. But I will go for maybe 2. that would be better to something, or even 250 and call it a day. But this is, in my opinion, the most impressive of the three. The one that I like the most, because the other two don't have really much expression in their face. But this one does. And I love the paint job here. I love the expression on this one. These are available already at Sideshow. So I haven't really seen a review of them. I need to kind of look it up if there's a review, because I will be interested on these pieces for sure. It looks good. Love the detail. I think I saw a review. I don't know if it was Chris Bale's Beamu that who did that, but I need to find out. Now, there's another one they have on pre-order. This, another one, the Orochi and Chris. This is for the King of Fighters, which to me is a very interesting piece. 700, which I think is too expensive, but it does, if I'm not mistaken, have some light of feature. And it looks terrific. This particular scene, this character, the Orochi, you're a fan of this, and this is based on his appearance on the King of Fighters 97. It looks really good. It looks like him. It's really nice. It's a very well detailed. This is not for everyone. You have to be a hardcore SNK fan and be a collector of this particular franchise. You know, there's other companies we've seen more. Meisha, you know, it gets produced by many companies in Asia. So, but they need to produce more characters. It is a cool concept. Love the clear resin. Looks very interesting. That is very interesting for sure. But the reason why we're here, the main reason, is the new piece that was released for them. And this is the Holiday Made Monica Tessia. $205, quarter scale. Only 199 pieces. Of course, this is an artist that designed this. And it's really interesting. Now, this is created by the Polaris Studio as the designers, and that's what developed this. One thing I want to point out, that this piece, what it really adds the price, because this is a quarter scale that has a lot of different interchangeable parts. But one thing also has glass eyeballs, hand-painted eyelashes. You're going to see some of those eyelashes. Additional set of replacement hair accessories and hair color. Mahogany banister, marble banister, which is interesting. Detachable silicone chest piece. Additional set of bracelets, additional set of stockings, and table and base. So it does have a lot of these little elements that make it more elegant. Now, one thing I will tell you, what I'm pointing this out, because yes, it has poly resin, you know, resin, but it does have silicone, which to me, that was very, very interesting, particularly on the skin. This comes with silicone. That is the main reason I wanted to share this today. Not because, you know, it's just still a pretty girl, but it's not something for my collection. But the reason why I'm sharing it is because I'm seeing more and more companies using silicone in Asia and China. So we're getting to see, it's like, you know, companies are already been using it, and they're using it also for smaller scale pieces and or quarter scale. And we're going to see 1/6. People are experimenting with the material over there. And her skin, you know, her skin is silicone. And here it is, the wooden banister, which is cool. It's really cool. As you can see, there's one that is made of marble. But you know, this is the thing. Look at her face. Looks pretty. All of this, even her chest area. And I'm guessing this is gonna be, because I've seen that, which is to me is kind of like a little sick that they do in Asia. And I've seen the pictures on Facebook groups. This is probably going to be removable so you can see her chest, naked chest, which to me is like, that is more like porn thing, you know, like that is not necessarily a collectible that I want to collect. But at the same time, it's good that they're doing the face, the skin is, the thing is they made it in silicone so people can squeeze the breast, which to me, that's just crazy. But at the same time, it's amazing that they're doing silicone on the body and in this type of pieces, which really makes me think that we're going to see more. Not only the small companies doing that, which are normally the small companies are the ones that experiment with things and push things, but the bigger companies adopting some of this technology. And we're going to get to see more of that silicone in other statues in the future. Will I accept that? I'm not so sure, because I love polyresin. I think it's a safer material, requires less maintenance, but that doesn't mean that, you know, like, this is not the future, and perhaps things can improve, and even the quality of the material can improve. Here you can see definitely the level of detail in this piece is really great. And here you see the other banister with the marble. That is cool. Here you can see everything that changes. Holiday made, silicone, soft breast. You get the free gray hair ornaments, the platform. You know, you can see those two with the marble or the wood, handmade eyelashes, glass eyeballs, which make it look very realistic. So, and here you can see the different tones. You can change the bracelets. You can change some things on the clothing. Here also the stockings are different. So there's a lot of things. This statue is going to be having so many things to change, and it's interesting. Even that base looks really cool. But the thing is this gives us an idea of what is it that we're getting to see. We're going to see more and more of these experimental things in the industry. Sideshow's already selling this type of things in their own shop. So that really tells you that there's a lot of potential in the future, and for companies to start adopting a lot of these products and these materials to use in their own products. So we'll see how that works. All right, let's read some of this. A very good price for a quarter scale. Yeah, it's not bad. Not all her skin is silicone. Oh, okay, I think it's just the chest area that is made with silicone. Oh, okay, gotcha. But at the same time, it's kind of weird. You know why? So that people can squeeze it like stress balls. Who knows? I'm telling you, that is just sick. And I personally really not into silicone pieces. I don't think it's proven to last. Yeah, the thing is this. We haven't really got to the place to say, oh, it's not going to last. It depends. Of course, silicone in other type of industries may not last. But of course, they advertise this as medical graded silicone, which supposedly is the same that is used for amputees or people that they have to replace parts of the body. So it is a more resilient type of silicone than just basic silicone that kind of fades or start just falling apart. But at the same time, we haven't seen this in a long period of time because everything has to be tested. We have to test the materials. We have to test it in a time vacuum, and I have to put it in a time machine or in a place where we can time it. And sometimes, there's those machines where you can put something, and of course they change by sunlights and daylights and all that. They can process the time loop faster, so that way they can test certain materials to see how they can endure. We haven't done that. And it's hard to determine because, you can say, oh, we're using this material, but on the factories, they might use a cheaper version of the material. And at the end of the day, the material they might use might not be at the same level of quality. So there's a lot of unknowns and variables that it's hard to really know or determine which is the best material or how long does it really last. But ultimately, I love the idea of silicone. I'm always intrigued by the concept. But I'm still prefer what has been proven for the longest, which I've been collecting 20 years. Polystone is resilient. In this case, cold cast porcelain, it is more resilient. So I'd rather stick with what is more resilient because of the time experience than something that is very brand new. And definitely there's a lot of what ifs, in it. I do have silicone hand models used for display that started to crack within a year with very little use. I don't trust it. Well, that's good. You have that experience that really kind of sets the tone for you. And it really sets the tone for most people. The first bad experience will always determine how you're going to see anything. The same way, for example, that people don't like light-up features in here. A lot of people don't like light-up features because the first light-up features that were produced here in this industry were terrible. They were, for the most part, cheaply made, and they didn't last long, and there were a lot of problems with them. They die out quickly, but the technology has changed, and now a lot of these companies are producing better light-up features, but still, I think the stigma still sticks around with that. People don't like it. The same happened with cloth. The same happened with fabric, because the first statues with fabric, the first premium formats, they were having so much trouble. I have some of my previous formats, they were terrible. Like they were cracking, they were all doing sort of things. So to me, that was like, I don't want this, And to be honest, we still get, because of that first experience, now when the companies are producing this, adding some type of materials, fabrics, we are kind of, we worry, which is natural to worry because we have an experience. We already marked by that experience. So we are, afraid just to jump in on it again. Nobody wants to be cheated twice, and to be honest with you, you buy something that you were promised that it will last an eternity and it doesn't last, then you don't want to feel cheated. You know, first time, shame on you. You know, second time, shame on me. So I'm not going to fall again for the same trick. So I understand your place. All right, now let's move on, guys. Let's move on. Let me just drink something here. Well, let me drink some water. But I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for being here with me. I truly appreciate it. You know, I really appreciate having the conversation. I appreciate your questioning and also your comments. That to me is good. I think that's what's important. To have these conversations, I really enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy talking to you. All right, guys, now let's move on. And now that we're here at Sideshow, I want to move on to perhaps the piece that many people are really loving, or people are super interested. And to me, I am one of them. It's not coming from me, but I'm so glad that they're producing this. So that's the reason we're coming to Sideshow. I want to talk about PCS. We come into the quarter scale now. You know, we're already on the quarter scale with the Holiday May Monica. But Bolo Yeung, this phenomenal martial artist, actor that has been, it's amazing to think that Bolo Yeung has been and still alive, man, and still kicking it. You know, this guy is a legend. You know, like, you know, from his time, you know, very young, working with Bruce Lee, and then of course in all the other movies that he has done over the years. He's such a star. And you know, like, the thing is that he always did such a great villain. But if you know in person, I've seen some interviews with him, he's just the sweetest guy. People say he's the sweetest guy that you can meet. Very down to earth. And that is good. You know, I love that. I love it because that really is the signature of a great actor, is that the actors that they can portray a character, but in real life, they're totally different, you know, and better yet, when they're the nicest people in the world. And Bolo Yeung, man, is good. Now you have these two versions. They got the Bolo Yeung Jeet Kune Do tribute, and then you got the Kung Fu tribute. So, and they, of course, they got the whole bundle. If you want to buy two, these are 1/3 scale statues. Let's start first with the most classic, which is the Bolo Yeung Jeet Kune. This is, man, I'm telling you, like, this guy has never changed. When you look at the faces, this was back, what, in 1970, what? Something I forgot. What was the year? Man, you know, where he was right next to, you know, Bruce Lee, man. It's been so long, and the guy never changed. The faces, he still looks the same. Even 10, 20 years after the fact, he was still, you know, that was the 70s, and then he moved into the 90s. The guy was still looking the same. Now, you can see there's the collector's edition and there's the exclusive edition. So there's two different versions. The collector's edition doesn't have any, you know, like, edition size yet. It's going to be disclosed. Now, the limited edition has 100 pieces. I think the difference, as you can see, is in the base. The base comes with a signature from the actor, if I'm not mistaken, which is phenomenal. If you like it, that's what they did with the Jean-Claude Van Damme. So they're doing the same thing here. So let's look at first at the exclusive edition. Let's look at the pictures. I love the detail. Of course, people will point out that, you know, he doesn't look, some people are going to say, oh, he doesn't look like the actor, you know, because of this or because of that. There's always going to be critics. So for some reason, PCS gets all these critics, you know, and to be honest with you, it's not 100%, but it's not far off. You know, you can look at this and you know who this statue is representing. The paint job is excellent, in my opinion. It looks super, super good. He's strong. I like it. I love this bases they've been doing with this collection, also with the Jean-Claude Van Damme. Amazing looking bases. This is for the hardcore martial artist fan, the one that loved the movies and definitely are going to love this one. Now, having the signature is icing on the cake, in my opinion. I love the regular. I think the regular is going to be fine, but having that signature, I think, is what people want. And at this price point, might as well just go for the signature. Looks really, really good. Look at that. You know, it's simple, but I think it represents the actor as he should be represented. I like it. It's talking about now the difference between silicone and polystone. This is material, you know, this is polystone, so this is hard. So this is definitely going to last more than silicone. So I would rather invest money on this. It looks really good. Love the detail, the paint job. There's simplicity. Love even the shoes. Looks fantastic. Look at those shoes. Really great. Nice paint job. Love the gold that they put on this base. Nice concept with the lions and the dragons. That is really, really cool. And of course, Bolo Yeung right there on this signature. That, in my opinion, is sick. Is good. Now, here's the other one, of course. That is good. That is good. Looks really great. All right. And now, if we're looking at the other one, we're going to pay attention to this one. Of course. Amazing, of course. Of course, when he was the antagonist to... Right now, I'm a little bit tired. I forgot the movie, so remind me of the movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Which, man, I hated him in there for some reason as a villain. Like, man, you look so terrible. He was ready to pound. He pounded Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was terrible. But, man, it looks really, really good. And, of course, there's some difference on the portrait, as you can see also on the face, the hair. So there's changes. Now, the pose on the body is the same, but the portrait is different. And the base is a bit different. As you can see, this dragon, it has more of that bronze look. And here, of course, this is the roller, so it doesn't have the signature. That is cool. I like it, man. As soon as I saw the pictures when they announced this, I was like, man, that looks super sweet. And if you already have the Jean-Claude Van Damme, then definitely this is going to look really nice right next to it. Great level of detail. Nice paint job. Nice painting on the color of the skin. Really cool. And that, yeah, that bronze looks really good. Man, that looks really killer. They're both together right there. And of course, you know, if you go for the exclusive, which the difference there is almost $400. And people say, well, that's too much money for a signature. Yeah, but hey, you know, it's only 100. So yeah, that's what I was saying early on. Some people want the most limited things. You know, they want to collect what is the most, has the most collectible value, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no right or wrong answer on that one. If you want to have the most ultimate thing, if you're willing, like recently, what was that? There's a Superman comic book. It was a, you know, graded as an 8.0. You know, that one just sold for $5 million. You know, and it's just a comic book. You know, people can collect whatever they like. That's just the way it is. And now, of course, if you want the whole thing, you know, you're already here for the money. You're already here all in. And you want to have the ultimate thing, then you go for the whole bundle. $22.50. It's a low stock remaining at the moment I'm filming this. Only 50 pieces. And already selling out. And it's going to sell out. You know, that's for sure. That's going to sell out. There's plenty of people only in Hollywood that are willing to pay the money. Looks really good. So you get both. Killer. Really killer for sure. We've already seen these pictures. But man, we're looking at them again. Love both. I prefer this one over the other one, but I think both are great and they represent the actor in a really nice way. They're the ultimate thing. And I'm sure the actor will get this as well. Looking good, man. Of course, you can choose the layaway plan, a layaway payment plan, which is going to be $253. It's tough. And it's going to release sometime between June and August. I would say, guys, I like it, you know. No reason to hate it. No reason to say, well, that's bad or that doesn't look like him. In my opinion, of course. It's my opinion. But, you know, it just, if you're into it, you're going to love this one. All right, let's see if we can get something here. Okay, nobody's making any comments yet. I think we're moving on. But what do you think about Bolo Yeung? Are you a fan of the actor? Do you enjoy his movies? I'm definitely, I love, you know, Kung Fu movies back in the 70s. The 80s were also a lot of movies. I love all the Kung Fu stuff. And definitely when Jean-Claude Van Damme came out, to me he was a star. You know, like I love his stuff, even though, you know, there were a lot of cheesiness also in his movies. I love that, you know, Chuck Norris, all of them, you know, like, hey, you know, why not? I was into all those type of films. All right, guys, so far so good. Let me just drink some water. Again, I do appreciate that you are taking time to be here with me, each one of you. And okay, I'm showing here. Okay, I was looking at some of the comments, but thank you also. Thank you for those who have, you know, thank you for also for those $5 donation again, Vino. I really appreciate it. I truly appreciate it, you know, supporting the channel. All right, guys, let's move on. Let's move on now. Let's focus on what we're doing here today. And I want to move to Queen Studios. Oh yeah, I want to move to Queen Studios right now because Queen Studios is having a released tomorrow that a lot of people, I'm sure they're gonna love. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be in tune with that, and that's the reason I'm coming to Facebook, because I don't think it's on the website. It's not on the website yet, so unfortunately we cannot see it yet, or at least the price. But I'm sure if you are into Queen Studios, I will tell you one thing: do not sleep on this. Here, it looks nice, but I don't really know him. I did like Van Damme's statue. Yeah, Van Damme is good. You know, to me, Bolo Yeung is like such it's a great actor and a star definitely in a lot of these films. But I want to move now. Of course, now we're moving on to Queen Studios. Again, they're releasing this amazing, in my opinion, they're gonna release this amazing looking Captain America tomorrow. And I will tell you one thing: do not sleep on this if you're a quarter scale collector. I'm feeling this is gonna be around the 1,000 mark, the same as they did with what was that, a week ago or 2 weeks ago? They released the Loki, so it's gonna be around the same price, perhaps even more. Who knows? But this is, in my opinion, a great representation of this character. It's releasing tomorrow, and I'm sure it's gonna sell out on their website. And it's only available through their website in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Macau, South Korea, Indonesia. In Europe, Europe gets this. In America, we don't, and Japan. But this is for the Winter Soldier. Of course, you know, we talk about the one that did for the Infinity Saga of the last film, the Infinity War. Looks really good. The Infinity War, but Endgame. Looks really good. But, you know, if you're more into the, you know, the Winter Soldier, which in my opinion is one of the best films in the MCU franchise, one of the best. Some people will consider even the best film in the franchise, although I will disagree, but it's up there, almost there. It's definitely on the top 3. And I'll tell you, it looks really good. And if I'm not mistaken, it's sculpted, fully sculpted. And it looks so terrific. I will tell you, Queen Studios has been doing amazing with the sculpts. You know, the level of detail they're doing with these pieces is just surreal. Amazing looking pieces. And I love the, you know, this is to me one of the best versions of the Captain America suit that they did on the Winter Soldier. I did like the one also for Endgame. But I think, you know, it depends on what you prefer. It looks really, really neat. And I love the pose that they use for this one. It's a museum pose, but he's on a walking stand, which looks really great. He is walking, and you can see this is based on the poster. One of the posters where he's walking, definitely they took from that, the image of that. But it looks so much like the actor because he has this walk, you know, he walks like definitely like he is unafraid, you know, like he's packing. That's how he walks, you know, like he's packing, ready for action. So it's good, you know. I think they did a good job with this one, and it's impressive. I'm sure there's going to sell. Of course, you know, we get so many Captain Americas now, but you know, to be honest with you, I was thinking about it. You know, like to me, I love the Captain America, the Hot Toys version because they're 1/6 scale. I would love to see this as a 1/6. That would be awesome. I'm not necessarily a collector of movie stuff. I prefer comic-based stuff. But when it comes about films or position of films, I will say that definitely this Captain America will be at the top of the list. I think it's a great representation of the character. I think we'll follow perhaps by Iron Man. I think it's just good. I think in the Marvel and all the characters that they were brought into the MCU, I think the ones that they had more, they were better looking, or the representations were better on the suits and all that. Definitely Captain America, Iron Man. I would say also perhaps you know, Spider-Man. But you know, like the other ones, I was never crazy about the design for the Hawkeye. Hulk is Hulk, you know, you're always gonna love Hulk regardless. Thor, I wish Thor had a more classic look. You know, we'll see with the new Thor movie how they're gonna go with that. But I did like his look on the on the Ragnarok film. I like the look more. But yeah, it looks good. You know, this, and definitely love the detail on the boots. There's a lot of great texture. It looks like, you know, as you can see, get close, it looks like leather boots. Looks super, super good. Yeah, that's fine. You know, it's a nice statue. I will tell you. I think Queen Studios did good with this one. And I don't see any imperfections, nothing to be like this is what you consider a 99%. It is a 10, 10, 10. Yeah, just like that. And you people will say, well, it doesn't look like this or that, but it's just so minuscule that there's no reason to really say, oh, something wrong with it. It's perfect as it is, you know. So I'll take it as it is. What do you think about it? Let me know. All right, looking at the comments here. That captain is fire. Really looks stunning and very high likeness to Chris Evans. Yeah, it does. It's like, man, I don't see nothing wrong. People will say, well, it doesn't look like, yeah. People always want to whine about something, but it looks like him, walks like him, stands like him. It's just perfect as it is. Love this one. Hola todos. Hola JP. Skill Power. Hello. Hola. A ti también. Thank you for coming. Now, my only minor gripe with Queen Studios and this statue is that they almost always have to put titles and logos on the front. Not to my taste. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's like I was selling earlier in some of the statues where we saw with the Naruto statue with, what was the name of the company? I just forgot. It's Starexva Studio. It's like a thing that I don't know if it's happened in Asia, but in Asia, they love that. I seen that a lot of, they do that with the figures. They do that with statues. I think they love it that way. And at the same time, we have to understand that there is a difference in the language, you know, like they have a different, you know, they don't use the same ABCs as we use. They have a different writing. So I think for them, the logo of the names represent a lot to the character as they see it in some way. I think. I'm just guessing here. Guessing. It's probably too late and I'm just guessing. My brain is going places. So to them, it's like a logo represents a name, more than the image of the logo represents the name rather than just, hey, I'm naming you because you don't know who the person or who this person is. For us, it's different, you know, in the sense that in America, we don't really like the names because to me, it's like, I know who that character is. It's Captain America, you know, like you don't need to have the name. I don't need the logo. The logo's already on his chest. But I think it's, at the end of the day, there's a cultural sensibility that this separates one from the other, because I do see, if you pay attention to this. If you look at the statues in Asia and the figures in Asia, a lot of the companies, they have their names on right there on the front. There's a plaque. You know, even XM, when it started, they were giving you that little plaque at the beginning, and they kind of removed it. I think because some of the criticism, because in many ways, XM Studios, although they produce a lot of stuff in Asia, most of the market, it was here on the West. So they were like learning in the process that, you know, this is what we like. So they are catering to what we like more than, because that is what they're doing, rather than just catering to the Asian market, which a lot of companies do over there. So I think that's what it is. And maybe it's just, you know, at the end of the day, companies kind of adapt and they say, well, after they get a lot of people saying, hey, we don't like this, we don't like that, then ultimately they'll learn their lessons as well. Let's take it out. And that way everybody's happy. I think that's just what it is right there. At least this time the title and logos are tiny and not very noticeable. Yeah, it's not that bad because, yeah, I noticed that the logo is very small on the side, on the front, but it's not like this huge thing that we had, like the big name of the whole movie just plastered on the front. Metal shield is a cool touch too. Yeah, I think it's good. I love that, first because it makes it more realistic. I'd rather have that than just plastic shields, which I dislike. Like on my Kotobukiya Captain America plastic that is warped, I need to replace that plastic. I need to figure out a way to replace that into a real shield. Maybe get a Hot Toy shield or something and do something with it. We'll see. Customize it, because I don't like it. I just don't like it. It just looks cheap. And also when they do just the poly resin, which I feel that it's more fragile, and you want to touch it, you want to feel it, you want to have that feel of real metal. They can go the Prime1 route and add the logos as an additional removable part. Yes, that's another option, you know, which I think that's what the reason why Prime1 did it, because they realized that, hey, you know, because this is the thing, Prime1 kind of walks this thin line between the Asian market and the West market. So I feel that they do it, they understand that if they remove it, then they give something to the however you prefer. So if people over there prefer to have it that way, they'll have it that way, because that's what I've seen. A lot of them, they prefer that. Here in America and in the West and Europe, we just don't. We don't care about it. So that way gives us an alternative and everyone is happy. So I think that's just perfect. So that's what we have with Queen Studios. Now, talking about Prime1 Studio, now that you mention it, and like they did with their new Ultraman, this is what we're gonna do. That's the reason we're going to jump to Prime1 Studio, and we're gonna look at this one. This is what we're going to do right now. So this is, let me swap there. Right now, we are here at Prime1 Studio. And I want to talk this, man, Prime1 Studio kills it. You know, like Prime1 Studio, it's top of the food chain right there. They're the predators. Everybody else is just the prey. That's just the way it is. Everyone else is the prey. Prime1 Studio is the predator. He comes to kill everyone else's dreams. You know, like, yeah, we can say J&D, Queen Studios, but they don't have as many licenses as Prime1 does right now. So we got to give him credit. Now, we're going to talk about all these pieces, but I want to talk about all these three pieces right here. We'll talk about Ultraman. I'm going to talk about Shiro, and I want to talk about this line in particular. And we talk about Vergil. Now, this is part of the 10-year celebration. They're doing some of these pieces, which are technically, you know, like, you know, they're exclusive versions of variants. That's the word, variants of something they have already released. Different paint jobs and all of that. Now, Vergil would be a variant of the one I already have. There was a different color. I think it was a darker color. Now this is the lighter blue. 899 pieces, only 350 pieces. I'm not so sure it comes with the same switch outs that the other one has, but we know it's a variant. So it's a different color on the base. So if you are into Devil May Cry 5, then you're gonna like this one. And again, going back to what it is, Prime1 Studio produces such a quality in the product. It looks so realistic that it's not, you know, like at the end of the day, everyone is competing now with Prime1 Studio. You know, like everyone wants to have the same level of detail. You know, people will say, well, Queen Studios is doing this and that, and definitely they're doing it. But this is the place where Prime1 Studio is. And the interesting thing is that that was the place Sideshow was for many, many years. Sideshow was in that place where that was the company to beat. And now Sideshow, it's pretty much at the, not at the bottom, but it's in mid-tier. And now Prime1 Studio is the king of the hill and needs to be beaten by all these companies. And some companies are doing an amazing job, but they still don't have the same level of detail, the same cloud that Prime1 does with all the different franchises they offer and all the stuff that they do with these franchises. It's just different, you know. Right now, Prime1 Studio is at the top for sure. But yeah, it looks cool. A variant for those who already love this franchise, already have the first one. They may want to have the, you know, variant, or those who miss on the first one, they want to have this one. So it's an option that is there. And definitely look at that blade. It looks so realistic. The look is so, so good. That is great. So it's not bad. You know, this is something, you know, and it's nice to see the companies producing these variants. Now, I want to talk about this collection here, which is PVC. And this is something that they showcased at the last showcase. They were talking about it, and they've been doing, which is kind of this little licenses, the Prisma wing, as they call it, which are PVC statues. And definitely, again, they're not for everyone. They're not for me. But it's interesting to see what the Prisma wing is doing and the concept that they're doing with these little things. My hope is that with the PVC stuff, with the smaller stuff, they're also able to explore beyond just this collection that they started, but also that they can explore into other collections and other franchises with smaller scale pieces, like 1/6. That is my hope. Whether they do it with, you know, PVC, or whether they use, you know, material, in this case, hard materials like polystone, polyresin, that would be good. But it's good to see the company trying their hand at something that is very different and unique. And definitely there's a market. You know, this, I'm telling you, this figurines or this figure, they sell well in Japan. They do sell well around the world too, in Asia. There's a lot of collectors that love this sexy looking little figures like this. Very cartoony, very anime. So it's going to do well. You know, it has some little detail. Oh, look at this. I saw that's a PlayStation controller. There's a mouse. So that is just, again, not for everyone, but that to me, it's a interesting thing what the company is trying. Now, here's another one of that Prisma wing, another figure in this collection. Price-wise, you know, they're standard prices for this type of figures on PVC. People say, well, that's too expensive, but no, that's the standard price. If you go and look at all this PVC stuff that comes from China, from all these companies, then definitely they have this pricing. So this is, I would say, comparable to them. And again, it has the signature being produced by Prime1 Studio, so definitely is going to be more pricey. So this is cute. You know, a lot of females love this. A lot of female collectors love this type of thing, so it's going to do well. You know, the base may not be as crazy. I prefer the other base than this one. The base look kind of cheaply made in some way. I think at the end it's just the display of this character there, like a little fairy, which is kind of cool. It's not bad. So this, I want to show you this to give you an idea. And again, this is my hope is to see the company explore ideas with the PVC line, and they can also bring, because for example, when you look at comparison, another company that's kind of similar in what they're doing on this, you're talking about Kotobukiya. Kotobukiya has been doing the Bishoyo line for the longest. It's one of the most permanent things that they have done, and Bishoyo line is super successful, whether people like it or hate it. People, I know collectors that they collect the big stuff, the large scale pieces, but they also have a fascination for Bishoyo, and they collect the little Bishoyos because they're cute and they constantly explore new things. You know, with new franchises they add to the Bishoyo line. So to me, that's an option that is there, you know, and hopefully Prime1 Studio can also explore in some ideas beyond these characters, but also bring other characters, and not necessarily just cute girls, but also some more, you know, male characters, and not looking cute, but you know, more into like other type of, you know, and I would say a cheaper alternatives also beyond the more expensive stuff that they produce. Because at the end of the day, you know, I am a collector that I'm not willing to pay $1,000 for one statue. I want to have something that is more within my price range, and I want to see something, you know, if it has the signature of Prime1 Studio, and they have done this with the vinyl stuff that they're doing here, but also the stuff they're doing with the looks amazing. I will by the way, the stuff they do with vinyl for the Jurassic Park collection. So hopefully they can also explore other alternatives, you know, that people can bring more clients that cannot afford the big stuff, but they want still to get something from Prime1 Studio. All right, guys, so let's move on now to the last piece of this video, which is the Ultraman, which is the last thing that they released. This is the ultimate thing. It just came out for sale today. There is the bonus version. It's $1,000, so it's pricey, but believe me, Ultraman sells. Particularly in Japan, there's a lot of fans. In Asia, there's so many fans of Ultraman. I've never been a big Ultraman fan. I totally get it. It's never been my thing, but I will tell you, I totally understand why it's so popular in Japan, and it's one of those characters that have lived forever. So many movies. He's as iconic in Japan as Godzilla. And here you can see. So he goes, the bonus part is the Ultraman here, the sign, I think, with the, this is what the symbol or the thing where you call his name or whatever, but it looks really cool. This is, oh no, this is just the, I'm sorry, this is just the plate with the name. Hold on. Which is, you can have it if you want it, if you don't. Right there, that's what it is. That's the plate. Looks really cool. It is removable. That is great. And Ultraman looks like Ultraman, you know, a skinny dude on some leotards and walking around. That's where he was. But it looks good. It's a very plain, simple color. People say, well, why cost so much money? It's just a very simple paint job. It's not just because of the paint job. It has a lot of features. And beyond the light of feature is the fact that it's Ultraman. And Ultraman sells in Japan. So it looks good. I think they chose a very classy, iconic pose. A classic look that looks really good. That, in my opinion, it's all they need. You know, they don't need anything more complicated. Here you can see with the light of feature, looks cool. That light of feature looks cool. And Ultraman looks great. Look at that. Nothing major, no major change outs or anything. Of course, at the same time, you want to hide those lines because you know, his suit is pretty much all his body, so they're covering that. Really cool. Man, there's a lot of pictures here. As always, when they release this type of things, this main statues, they release so many pictures with them. It looks good, you know. Again, I'm not an Ultraman fan. I'm not. But, you know, I've watched the films. I know the historical value and the importance for Japanese culture of Ultraman. I've watched some of the most recent stuff, which I like. Some of the recent stuff, also the 3D animated stuff. I like that because I like 3D animation. But definitely this is the classic look from, you know, those classic films. Looks really good. Great. Love that in the back, you know, the monster that he just vanquished. Really cool. Nice base, nice concept. Really cool. Different angles. This is the part where they totally shine, you know, with all the different angles. So yeah, I love the pictures for sure. All right, guys. Yeah, every angle looks really good. So there's not much really to look at, but definitely this is going to sell because he's an iconic character. And just bottom line, that's the reason it's going to do really, really well. All right, let's go to the comments here. Now, Prime signature in a DC. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. They can go the Prime route and okay, like they did with their new Ultraman. Vergil is a very nice piece for sure. The base looks super cool, and the blue code really complements him well. Yeah, I think so. I think I like this one because of the lighter colors. He looks better. So definitely, I think this is the better version. Now this Prisma Win figures are super cute, and I love how they play with colors and dynamic flow in their design. Yeah, you know, this is the thing. You know, this is designs they're doing, and they're very playful. And you know what? There's, you know, a lot of fans that they love the playfulness of this type of figures, and it's good to see Prime 1 really getting into that train. They're gonna sell well. They're gonna sell well, particularly women, girls, you know, girl collectors, female collectors. They're gonna love this more than anybody else. And you're gonna see them collecting. They're gonna sell a ton of money here. And here in YouTube, you're gonna see a lot of these girls, YouTubers, and even on like they can go to other places like what is this? I forgot all these different places where people go nowadays with their also to share their content and stuff. And there's girls that they have millions of followers that they love these figures, and they have, like you see in the background, they have tons of them. So they're going to be very popular. They're gonna sell well. So I know Prime 1 knows what they're doing here. Girls are really going to love this. Yeah, totally. They're the ones that they're gonna just pay money for this type of figures. They are the first customers, and that's the reason. That's what they're targeting, because most of the stuff that Prime 1 does so far is targeting male collectors. You know, it's a lot of it. They want to target the females, and there's a good way to do it. Prime signature in a DC 1/6 and a 1/4 would be amazing. Yeah, Prime's signature. I would love to see Prime 1 do more on 1/6 and 1/4. Yeah, 1/4 definitely they've been doing, but 1/6 will be perfect for me. I would love to see the stuff that they're doing there. There's a new Ultraman Netflix show. Seems interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I think I've seen the one that is animated, and the first episode was pretty good. But you know, to be honest with you, I haven't kept with a lot of the stuff on pretty much on any of those streaming services that I pay money for every month. You know, I have pretty much all of them, and I still don't watch everything. I need to find the time to, you know, just to watch a lot of stuff that I need to. You know, because to be honest, you know, and this is another thing now with the reason why I'm doing these live videos is because that allows me to have more time for myself. You know, I need time to heal my body that, as you know, it's been abused for a while. So be able to walk, exercise, be more active, but also to relax more, to have time with me. You know, I'm working already, back to work, regular job. So it's time consuming there, but also want to have time with my wife. I want time to do things. And I feel that one thing that I need to do is to get back on watching some of these shows and finish them. I need to. Not really into this character, but it's cool. It's a much better representation than X-Men in my eyes. Yes, I didn't get a chance to talk about that, you know, that version, but this one is better. Yeah, absolutely. This is a much better representation. It looks really cool. It's far superior for sure. Well, guys, I want to tell you all, thank you very much. I know we prolonged this a little bit, but for obvious reasons, I do appreciate that you have taken the time, or you are taking the time to come and watch this. Like I was telling you earlier, my plan is to do this every Friday. Every Friday you're gonna have the live shows. I've been doing, if you notice this, I've been cutting some of the live stream, some of the in little sections, so it's easier for some people that don't get the chance to come here. So you're gonna see some of the excerpts throughout the week and spread them out. It makes it easier for me, so I don't have to be worrying about making content every day, but also allows for people that don't have the time to watch the live streams to watch the little sections and perhaps be interested to come and watch this the full show. But I want to do this every Friday. Tomorrow it's Good Friday. I'm going out with my family because of the Easter holiday. We're going to spend some, with family. We need to. My brother-in-law, he was having some issues, medical issues, so we want to see him, visit him, make sure he's okay. And, just relax, enjoy Easter, celebrate Jesus because, as a Christian, I celebrate Jesus. And just spend time with the family. That's what I want to do and rest. I need the rest. But I want to say to all of you, I totally appreciate your support. Of course, if there's any releases or prices this weekend, we'll talk about it next Friday. So that way we cover a lot of things. And definitely pay attention because definitely companies still producing a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know what's coming, and there's a lot of great surprises. And hopefully I can also get the chance to finish some of those reviews that I already work on, but I haven't finished. So some stuff that I need to post here. But I want to say to all of you, I do appreciate your time. Again, I appreciate their support. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate that you take this time with me. And I hope the best for you. Happy Easter. Take care. And I will talk to you again, my friends. And happy holidays, JP. Thank you for the show. It was nice spending time with you. Same with you. Thank you, Aaron. As always, I appreciate that you always come and you leave the comments, like you keep the conversation going. I appreciate that. I know some others don't have the time right now, but I do appreciate whatever time every one of you spends here watching or interacting. I love it. It really helps this show to grow.